Okay, so today we're going to look at Explain Everything, which is another tool that you can make screencasts with or create lessons that you can post up as a video later. So on your iPad, there is an app called Explain Everything, and it's got at the bottom right hand corner, there's that funny E with the edu in the corner. It would take you straight to this page, and we would need to create a new project. So I'm going to click on the plus for a new project. I'm going to go for a blank canvas. Now, there are so many tools in the toolbar, which is on the left hand side. At the bottom right hand side, that's got the slides. So just like any other slides presentation you do, Explain Everything works by having a number of slides. So at the moment I've only got one slide. I can add another slide by clicking that plus in the bottom hand right corner. If I click on that little arrow next to the 2 out of 2, that shows me all the slides that I have. I can add more slides if I like by clicking on the plus, and you can choose what kind of background you'd like. So if I click on the custom color, that allows you to pick the color as well as the texture or the kind of background you want. So I could have just a textured background like that, or I could have dots in the background if you wanted to, or I can have a grid, which I can make smaller or bigger depending on what you need it for, or I could have vertical or horizontal lines. I'm just going to have the grid for this time, and then I'm going to click done. Once you've got your slides at the bottom, if I click again, I can change the order in which the slide that I have. So if I hold it, I can move it. If I wanted to edit anything, I can click on it, and I can change the background again. I can duplicate it by clicking on that ×2 on the left hand corner. If I didn't want that slide any longer, I could click on the trash can. Then I'm going to click done. I'm going to go back to my first slide. Now the beauty of this is that I can integrate a video and some writing to explain something on my screencast. So say for example the teacher wanted to speak to their class before whilst showing something. So on the top hand right corner, left hand corner, sorry, if I click on that, I get a whole lot of options for things to insert. And the first thing I'm going to insert is a video. Now you'll notice that there is an option for picture, video, but underneath there is an existing image or video. So if I click on the video, that will tape someone live through this app. So I'm going to click on video, and it immediately gives me a picture of what's in front. I apologize for the picture. It's the only thing that I've got at the moment. I'm going to make it smaller to fit on my screen. So when I record, the teacher can explain while he or she is writing. So at the moment, I'm not recording my screen. To start recording my screen, at the right at the bottom where it's got the circle, the red circle with the microphone next to it, that's how I start to record what I'm going to do. So if, say for example, the teacher was going to explain a mathematical concept, they would click the record button, and then you might have the teacher speaking while saying something and writing something. So today, for example, we're going to explain a mathematical concept, how to multiply 2-digit numbers by a single-digit number. So I'm going to say 33 times 2. And I'm going to multiply this number first by this number. So 2 times 3 is 6. Then I'm going to multiply this number by this number, and then I get 6. And that's how you would work it out. Once you're happy with what you've done, then you can click stop, and that will keep the recording for you to play. You can edit that recording by clicking on it. So if I go this way, for example, you'll notice that my trash can with a little arrow to the right appears. That means I can actually delete anything after that red line that appears. So if I go like this and I can click on that, it gets rid of that last bit. Now the other thing you might want to do is you might want to prepare your lesson or have it ready and then start the recording on top. So I might want to write 33 plus 33, not recording what I've done so far. And then I might want to start recording as I explain. Now, one thing I really like is that it's got different kinds of pointers. So if I click to the pointers, it's got a lightsaber, it's got different colored arrows, it's just got your normal pointer. So you can choose what you like. And then I can start to record and say, if you go to this 3, if you go to this 3 and this 3, you add them together and you get the 6. Then you go to this 3 and this 3 and add them together to get 6. So we're basically adding the units and then the tens together. Okay, now my other option is to use the graph paper. Now in the graph paper, I can use it by going into the pencil tool and then using the ruler tool. Now the ruler allows me to draw straight lines, so I'm going to just move it and I'm going to pick a pen. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it, and I'm going to rule a line across the ruler. And again, after that, I'm going to turn the ruler around. I'm going to turn the ruler around and I'm going to make another vertical line. And this can be used to demonstrate how to draw a graph for a data lesson, for example. Now just to look at some other tools that we've got. So if I look in that plus at the top again, I'm going to go and have a look at the browser. Now the browser allows you to insert an actual browser window in, and we can type in whatever web page we want our students to go to. So the reason I might do that is I might want to point out something in particular in a website, or I might be directing them to where I'd like them to go in particular, or I might be highlighting something within that particular website. So I've just put in St. Aloysius, and I can direct them to a particular area by getting my pen tool and pointing to the menu, for example. They can then interact with the website, get my pointer tool and go into that menu and direct them further to where I want them to go. Then I can start to point at certain things I would like them to look at in particular. Another tool that you can use is putting equations in. So as soon as I do that, a calculator comes up where you can type in your equations for maths. You can also insert clip art pictures. So there is a variety of pictures on there that you can choose from and insert. So for example, I'm just going to pick a duck and put it in. You can make it smaller or bigger as you like with your hands, with your fingers, just by squeezing it in or panning it out. You can also search for photos in their photo library. I've put in, for example, Australia, and a variety of pictures will come up. Not a big variety, but there is some pictures that you can choose from. Now there's a few things you can do with those pictures. I can make them smaller, I can make them bigger. I can also choose to annotate on them or highlight something in them by using my highlighter tool. I can also rub out some parts of the picture rather than all of it. So if I click on the third option, you can get rid of parts of that picture. Now underneath is a fill tool. So if I pick a color and tap on a certain color, it will fill those particular areas with a certain color, as you can see. And then there are shapes that you can add or draw in. If I go to the very top one, you can choose from a number of shapes that are there. I can pick up star. I'd go to the fill option just above the shapes tool to color that star. Then I've got the text option, so the big A or the capital A is for text, and I can type anything I like. And then I've got this cutout tool. So basically this tool allows you to cut out a piece of the picture that you can take and copy and paste into different places. So for example, if I wanted to get just a little part of the Opera House that I wanted to take and copy and paste into a different place, whether it be the next slide or on that particular slide, I can do so with this tool. So these are the basics for Explain Everything. There are a lot more tools, but this will suffice for you to make a quick lesson for your class. Good luck.